We are back. The Breakdown Boys, Wade, Sensei.
Ooh.
Bro, what are we saying about that shirt? That thing you're wearing, that shirt's wearing you. You ain't wearing that shirt.
Listen. What are you saying?
My man got the extra medium. I know they made it.
That's a large. That's a large.
That's a large?
Yes.
Oh, buddy, dad bod is real. Look at, bro. That 6-degree black belt got you feeling different. That new tooth got you feeling different, buddy. Look at you smiling. Look at me now. You low-key got a Leon build, though. I ain't even gonna lie.
Yeah, I'm working on it. I'm getting there.
You got that Leon build. If Leon let himself go just a bit more, that's you, bro.
Wow. This man said. Oh,
But you do. You got a Leon build. You know what I'm saying? You built. You bigger than me right now, and I'm supposed to be bigger than you, and you're bigger than me. It's crazy.
Hey, yo, shit.
Chill, bro. Chill. Hey, yo.
Off the glass. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean?
Man, say, hey. Okay, so we have to talk about episode 3 of The Ultimate Fighter, season 31. We know this. Conor McGregor, Michael Chandler. We got some potentially interesting news on the actual fight that we're going to talk about in a second that could shake up this entire thing. Their fight, not the fight we saw tonight. But let's talk about it, man. Episode 31, the two fighters that were going at it. Did you pick Austin Hubbard to win this thing? I don't remember who we picked. We have to go back and watch.
I thought I had Cody Gibson. We got to go back.
Gibson's a 35er.
Oh,
yeah.
I thought I had our other boy from that one first night one, Roosevelt.
Okay, you picked Roosevelt. Okay, because Austin Hubbard, I think you maybe were going to pick him.
He's a monster though.
He's a beast. So Austin Hubbard took on Aaron McKenzie. Now, from this episode, we got a lot of kind of what we're accustomed to getting in these episodes, which is you're getting some backstory from these families. And damn, if it just doesn't continue to get more heart-wrenching every single week we go through this. Austin Hubbard just lost his brother apparently fairly recently. Former UFC guy. Won 3 fights, lost 4 fights in the UFC. Had a pretty decent run for a bit.
7 fights in the UFC.
That's a good. Hey, most people don't even get to the dance. He had his dance and some. You know what I mean? So he's been around, but he just lost his brother. Apparently, his wife lost a baby somewhat recently too.
Lost a child too.
So man,
I was like, dang, bro.
And they start playing the sad music behind it, dude, and you just get. I'm like, bro. This man can't catch a break. And then on the other side, you see Aaron McKenzie and his story as well. From 2 different I wouldn't say different walks of life, but 2 somewhat similar walks of life in different places. Oklahoma City, Illinois. And both guys highly rated, highly touted coming into this thing, you know? Especially McKenzie, he's a little bit older.
I know.
Which something else happened weird on Twitter tonight, too. Michael Chandler, let me just make sure that I'll pull this up here. There was some potential beef here between Michael Chandler and Aaron McKenzie. So this happened tonight, and Michael tweeted it from Brooklyn, which is interesting. Why is he in Brooklyn?
Oh, wow.
But he said McKenzie being a prospect, but older than Hubbard. And McKenzie said, you didn't say any of this shit to me. And Mike said, what are you referring to? And he said, I thought we were cool, man. He said, not sure what you're referring to. What is this, dude? What are we doing here? So I don't know what happened there.
He tweeted that out now, though?
This was like earlier tonight, though, but yeah.
So he waited. He obviously,
he knew this.
Waiting on that tweet. He's clearly sitting on it. I can't tweet it until the episode.
Maybe
drops.
Maybe he didn't know Austin was, or that Aaron was older at the time. But
bro, you gotta know, dude. You're a coach. You're
I know.
training for your fighters.
I don't know.
You know your opponent.
Yeah, I don't know what that was, but it was really weird.
You know everything about him. If you're a coach, you know everything about everything you can know about your opponent. You know, and then some.
I mean, listen, is all that he's saying that he shouldn't be considered a prospect? Because prospect isn't based on age. It's based on your amount of fights, you know, like how much you've been doing this. Your experience, yeah. So I don't know. That was a bit odd for Michael Chandler to take some shots, knowing that his guy beat him at the same time.
I was gonna say you know that he won, so McKenzie's like,
matter?
what we do?
Yeah, I already got beat. What are you saying this for? Anyway, spoiler alert, by the way, of what happens in this fight. But anyway, the episode goes on, and you know, this was another look, and this is what we continue to watch this for, into the look of Conor McGregor as a coach versus Michael Chandler as a coach. Talk to me about like what you saw in this one.
A completely different. Again, fight night. I'm trying to see if Conor is he going to be closer to the cage? Maybe is he going to wear the tough outfit?
I know.
No, but there's Chandler in the ring in between every round. You know what I'm saying?
Like the official head corner, yes.
Correct. And then there's Conor just pacing in the back.
I really
the leg
wish
is there.
There's
the leg is there.
There's it's Jedi Goodman. He does a lot of clips from like aerial show and MMA stuff. I think we'll get pinged if we show it at all, but there's so many fun clips of Conor McGregor that he took from this episode. Like in the fight when we'll get to it, but his guy gets rocked with something. He's like, "Oh, for fuck's sake!" He's just so pissed.
He's like, I can't do the accent, but he's like, "Beautiful shot." The amount of times,
beautiful shot.
The amount of times he says it,
and he like gets louder each time. But anyway, so what I was referring to is him in the actual training session. He's doing like the you know, starting to sing a song, and it's like, amen, or I don't even know what the song was, but he's like, you know, well, we're blessed to be here, lads. Come on, get in, let's get this work. Like, I love it, bro. It's like week by week. And this happened the first time Conor coached.
He's in the when it comes to the training thing, he like loves it. He
gets in there, yeah. And
he's in there.
There's been some reports that have come out, you know, that we've maybe got this one wrong. That Conor would they were like, man, this time around he was super hands on, whereas last time he was like, run the whatever. They're saying now, granted, he's not showing up a lot.
Yeah, but the sparring part of it, that he's in the mix, and you can see how animated he is, even in the clips. In the show, you can see how animated he is in the information, like getting into the detail of like, oh, I like how you do this, like specific to his fighter, and even hearing him when they have him like by himself and he's talking about his fighter and he's like kind of sitting there doing the interview style where he's talking about
he's cold.
He's not giving you like the cookie. Yeah, he's not giving you the cookie cutter. Yeah. Like, I like what my guy does. Like, he's very specific about the guy's style, what he likes. You can tell he likes the guys. He's interested. So that's dope. It's dope to see Conor.
I know this was a point in the book here for Conor. I thought he did well. I thought he did well with like bonding with his guys and not just like kind of just being around. But you get to see some more stuff from Conor. You know what I'm saying? Again, I know that we're supposed to watch this for the fighters, but I'm watching Conor and I'm watching him throw some kicks and those stabbing teeps that he was known for, and you know, roundhouses as well. He was throwing some kicks here. So again, we like that.
He looks more like the Conor of old.
I was gonna say, moving around, we like that. Now, I just thought of something crazy, and I'm going to say it on camera. We might not be able to do it, but next week, speaking of somebody that's great on their feet with kicks and everything else,
I know.
How dope would it be if we could get Stephen Wonderboy Thompson to come on the show? We have to.
I'm gonna.
You have to every day.
I know he's a busy man, but he should.
But we can do it. We don't even have to film it the night. Like, we film these usually. Like, as of right now, we're filming it the night of. We can film it the next day. Be like, yo, Wonderboy, please come on the show. We'd have to do this.
Wonderboy, come on the show. We're going to clip this. Jason, clip this.
Clip it, Jason.
We're putting it on the breakdown.
Put it on the breakdown. We're going to send it to Wonderboy. Be like, yo.
We're going to post it. We're going to repost it on all of our stories on all socials.
Yes, bro. We need that.
Wonderboy.
We need that. But anyway, that's next week. We saw a little bit more from Mike Chandler and his guy, again, Austin. Pretty damn good striker throughout the episode. I mean, that was something they were really worried about for Aaron. Came to pass that was a pretty good reason to worry about it. Aaron, obviously more of a jiu-jitsu guy, but dude, to be honest, when we watched the fight, he had some hands. He was throwing some nice stuff, man.
He did.
So he was more well-rounded than they let on.
That's tough too for Conor. I think it's because like Chandler,
he's already had two wrestling guys, and Conor's not a wrestling guy. So
right.
But to be fair, Kavanaugh is so.
But that's what I'm saying, because Conor, I was like, well, it's not. I'm not like totally upset that Conor isn't the head coach, but Chandler seems he's a more well-rounded guy. It's like he's a wrestler, but
exactly.
He's traditional MMA guy at this point.
Yep.
Right. And he behaves like a coach. Like, he's like, if you had like a wrestling coach in high school, like that's what you would think.
100%.
Michael Chandler, or like
he's a youth league baseball coach, bro. I've been saying it. He's a youth league baseball coach.
Exactly. So Conor is also heavy on like style. He's very heavy on his style and his approach, and he's so like in terms of striking.
Yeah.
He believes in it so much. So even when he's talking with his guys, you see him. He's talking about certain shots that he should be looking for. It's the striking. It's the finish. It's shots that are going to change the fight. Whereas
he expects
like
you to know the basics.
McKenzie may not be. He's hearing it, but he's like
It's
doesn't
like
believe it to his core because he's a BJJ guy. You know.
It's like if Michael Jordan was trying to teach you exactly how he shoots his jumper, but you didn't have the facilities for that big man. You know what I mean? Like
yeah.
It's like trying to explain the triangle offense to like a junior varsity basketball player. That's not even like to shit on Aaron. It's just they're different. You know, it's like
Very
he isn't
different,
that level of striking. So when Conor does explain stuff, I am looking at him like, bro, that shit's not resonating. You're not talking to yourself. And I don't know if that's just because he just, like you said, believes so much in his style, and his style is just a little bit.
It's good for Conor.
Yeah.
It's good for Conor. And he's kind of sharing. He's there to share for what he can, what works for him.
Yep.
You know, and what he sees.
Yep.
So it's a good, I think it's a good thing for them, I guess, even though they're 0-2.
Because like they're 0-3.
You know what I'm saying? Oh yeah, I forgot we already spoiled it.
They're 0-3.
They're 0-3.
But no,
I thought you were coming to the dark side, bro. You know, you turn on here, you got the red lights on.
That's right. What am I doing, bro? I'm out here switched up. Hold on,
I got
dude.
Team Chandler right here.
No. Chill.
Chill. I'm taking too many L's.
Chill. There we go.
Oh.
Okay, we back. Nothing ever happened. You know what I'm saying? But
Connor's doing this. He's shaking his head. Wade's over there with him.
Fuck's sake. I'm like,
we gotta leave now. Switching it up.
Damn. It's Connor's reaction. So one of the things that that again we talked about Connor's mindset and how much he has this really big self-belief. Aaron McKenzie get kicked in the ribs in training here, and something happened. I don't know if that was like a rib flare or just like he got hit on the bone, so it was a big swelling. I don't know. But Conor goes into this TMS, somewhat chronic pain. TMS is the mind-body syndrome, right? The ability for the mind to create pain or relieve pain. And he talks to this guy, and he goes, grab that. You grab that. And you just take it out at your boy. Take it out. And you look at it. And he's like, and you throw it in the ocean. You throw it in the ocean. I'm like, where's the ocean? Y'all are in Vegas. What the fuck? Where's the...
Mind over matter.
He's like, it's a mind over matter. I don't know what accent I'm doing right now. It's not Conor. But he's like,
wait a second. I'm
not
Irish.
I went British. But he's basically like, take this pain that's real, and you definitely have some sort of hematoma in your rib, but just grab it with your hand and then throw it. Throw it. Listen, I'm not even, I do believe there is a bit of legitimacy to, mind over matter, your mind being in control of the pain and being able to sometimes, again, alleviate pain.
And in terms of tolerance, yes, and some pain.
But you can't alleviate
but no.
Yeah. If you got that big of a hematoma off something, you can't just grab it and toss it, bro. And he goes, you got to do it a couple times a day. Sometimes 3 times a day. 3 times. If there's a little bit left, 3 times. You go at it again.
And there's McKenzie just randomly going.
I'm just watching his face, and he's like, what the fuck is this guy on, bro? He's just sitting there going. And then he's like, and then you throw it in the ocean because there's a lot of fish in the sea, mate. And then, like, waits for him to laugh, and McKenzie's like, I'm like, what is this fucking guy talking about?
With his leg just...
He's like, how do you think I recover from this leg, yeah? HGH,
yeah.
mate.
I was going to say, how did he recover? He was doing this. He was doing this, and then doing this. He was doing the other way around.
He was doing this, and then grabbing the bottle of HGH and saying... That topical shit.
I was doing this. I was doing this.
I was throwing it in the ocean, mate. So that happens. And then like I said, we get to look at it. Michael Chandler basically telling, being a coach to his guy. I got to be honest. We have to be honest about this. The bits with Chandler are a bit boring because he's just being honest with his guy, and he's like, "You're better than him. You've been doing this a while, so." Go out and beat him, and that's what a coach should do. So it's not like the most insightful, but it's just like,
classic.
It is what it is.
Classic.
He's being a coach. But then we get Conor with the figurines.
Oh yeah, the figurines.
Figurines were kind of cool. Now the kid that does them apparently takes different parts of other figurines and puts them together.
I saw that. I was like, okay.
Now when I looked at it, it looks like he just pops the head off ones and puts them on another one. That's what it looked like to me. But I could be wrong because the one he put of Conor in the business suit 100% looked like a Vince McMahon suited up, and then he just popped the head off of it and put a Conor head on it. I was like, this kid just made a rack for doing that. What the fuck, bro?
Wade's over here hating on the
I'm pissed. I'm like, who's this 11-year-old just popping tops off the damn figurines and fucking Conor throws. Did you see the amount of money Conor had just in his pocket? Like, that was 100% for the camera, bro. What the fuck do you do with that money?
What we saying? What we doing here?
He pulled out a wad, and I'm going to try to guesstimate. I need to go back and look at it. He probably had 10 racks.
Yeah.
And he was like, oh, what do you think? A G? Oh, G? Okay, here you go.
That will do it.
The kid is like jaw on the floor because he's never seen that amount of money. And Conor's like, here you go, kid. There you go. What about this one for Junior?
He did paint on the shorts, though.
Now, I will say, he did the paint on the short, and then he has the, that's crucial. And then he has the tattoos, too, so fair play to the kid, but.
Yeah, he just can't get, like, the generic plain warehouse version.
No.
You know what I'm saying?
No.
The stock. He has to get others that are close.
I will say, if he actually is doing
and then redesign them.
Like the bottoms, he's like all that, then fair play. But I don't know, man. I could do that shit. Anyway, I'm like hating on this 11-year-old.
He's 11-year-old. He's over here like, I got this, guys.
Don't watch me try this shit. I colored it. It looks like a fucking Picasso painting. It's like arms on his fucking head and his leg is like out here. But
yeah, because the face, he had to do something to get the head or the face, right?
No, he just popped it off a Conor figurine. They have those. He didn't paint on the face of Conor. He just popped.
Wait, why is he doing this? I'm confused.
To make, like, he's making the figurine of different Conors, but he's using different parts of action figures to place together to make them. So it's not like Conor has his own, but he wants to make a specific one.
Oh, so he's just making his own off-brand.
Yeah, because I think the UFC ones don't have, like, the movable arms and legs and shit.
Oh, that's what Conor was saying. Like
the
wrist
and the whole deal. Like, it's an action figure.
Okay,
you know?
so he's making a different style.
Conor called them figurines, but they're action figures. Figurines would be like those, stagnant kind of deal.
They're fixed.
Yeah.
Conor likes the movement.
Yeah, exactly. Conor in his Ito Portal days. Where the movement? You're stiff as a
stuck
board. I'll snap you in half. Conor, that was old Conor. He needs to bring Ito Portal back, bro. I ain't gonna lie.
Meanwhile, he's walking around like this now.
Yeah, meanwhile, it's like lactic acid is just built up and never leaves. What are you looking at? Break your fucking nose, mate. So there was the lead up. So then we get to the fights, which I think that we now have seen were on the same day as last week's episode. They drew them 2 at a time. But Conor comes in, suited to the nines, like usual, kind of hovering around the cage, doing his thing. Fight starts. Round 1.
Bro, time out. Did your background turn green, or was it always green?
I flipped it.
Okay. I was tripping. I was like, I swear.
We just talked about this. Blue? It was never blue.
No. That's what I'm saying.
Oh, it might have been for a split second. Did it look like this? Christian, please edit this out because this man's on something else. Does it look like that for a second?
You did put that.
For a split second, and then I changed it. Because on my thing, green, okay. That's green on here, but it turns blue, but then I went to the other green.
Okay, because I was like, I thought you went team blue. Then I'm like, you changed it to green? And I'm like, wait, was I tripping?
For Conor McGregor, mate. I know he was team blue, but really, let's be honest here, the green and the white for the country of Ireland. We don't mention the orange because that's team Chandler, but after the voice.
You're 0-3, son.
Okay, that's true. So speaking of the 0-3, we have round 1 starts.
Hubbard
comes out flying, but so did Aaron, man.
Yeah, I was a little concerned. Hubbard has this, like, some guys do this where they like peek their head forward at times, like they lead with their head. Mm-hmm. They're going like they're not falling into shots, but like when they're throwing stuff, their head's coming forward with it, and I'm like, you're gonna get caught, buddy. I have like that eerie feeling to get caught, and he did get cracked a couple times.
I like there was a lead hand like kind of corkscrew uppercut that he threw, and I was like, and that's where Conor, beautiful shot, mate, beautiful, and screaming it, dude.
So that's all you could hear.
Yeah, you could hear it when they didn't even have the camera on him. You just heard it in the background, where like Chandler's losing his voice because he's screaming so loud, and Conor's even louder, which is crazy. So that landed, and it was all going well for a little bit there, and then all of a sudden, big right hand from Austin Hubbard catches him on the chin, wobbles him.
It was uppy, right? I believe it was an
uppy cut, boom, wobbles him.
On the break
head,
too,
head pops back, but that wasn't the shot.
I already knew. No, but I already knew it was gonna happen. Listen, when you're a grappler and you go for that takedown, and you get stuffed, and when it comes to like,
and he was holding on to it for a while.
Right, and you're trying to like fight for position, and the dude who's not supposed to be, like, he's a grappler, obviously, but
he's not supposed to be your level. It's not his specialty.
Correct, and he just like
nothing.
He makes you work too much for it, and you don't get like an advantage early.
Mm-hmm.
Not good. Like you just showed your cards, and I was like,
he's like, well, I'm ready for that. So
yep,
he stuffs that. They're on the cage for a bit. Hubbard actually gets position.
Yeah,
and then they reverse out. And as soon as he turns into his body, as soon as Aaron turns into Austin Hubbard's body, boom, big uppercut. That hurts him. He steps in, tie clinch. Yep. Dude!
Boom. That's right. The knee, son. That knee was beautiful.
Knee was
like
nasty.
the way he transitioned was so smooth. Because a lot of guys, and I like that about MMA fighters. They do a very good job of that, where they're not like strike and then set up, and then look for the strike. They'll like slide into it. They'll switch stances, and they'll like strike and then look for the clinch with the other hand, and then like the timing. It's just like a wave.
It's fluid.
It's very fluid. And the way that he went right into the knee I was like, that was clean.
Big knee.
Even Conor was probably like,
yeah.
Nice,
well, that's when he said, he's like, oh, for fuck's sake, mate. Oh, for fuck's sake. When he hit with the uppercut, and I'm sure the knee didn't do any favors for him. But then they go to the ground. There was a lot of positioning, and fair play to Aaron. He got back to guard, but the hammers were coming down, bro. Hammers, boom.
The elbow. Mean.
The elbow, I don't know if it was the elbow. I'm pretty sure it was the knee, but whatever cut him bad above his eye.
It was an elbow. It was an elbow.
Bad above his eye.
I think that was he was in deep half on top, Hubbard, and he like went inside with
Boom. Yep, right across, raked it.
Grazed it.
And then
I think, Chandler was like, I heard that one.
Yeah.
Because it was loud.
It sounded like a punch. It sounded like a nasty right hand. But then,
bone on bone.
At the end of the round there, it was basically McKenzie surviving. Like it was Aaron surviving.
He survived the round.
So he gets out of it. Round 2 starts, and again, Aaron does pretty decent to start the round. Yeah. He's got some good movement. I like his hands. He's very calm, and he just the low kicks were big. I thought they could have, like, when I'm watching it, I'm like, oh shit, he may, that lead leg of Austin Hubbard.
He was hitting, but he wasn't chopping, but he wasn't going for the calf kick. In the corner, Conor was like, the calf kick is there.
Yeah.
Yeah. But
Conor was also saying
he was cutting to the thigh, and he
was
hitting
leg kick, bro.
He was like a cut kick, but he wasn't chopping hard enough. You know what I'm saying? If you don't really hurt someone nowadays, because you're getting hit by that all the time in sparring, you've been conditioned for years. You have to like either catch him perfectly, or like you have to just be super powerful with that kick.
He wasn't chopping, but he was trying to, get back into this fight, and then at one point we get to that position again where if you are Aaron McKenzie, you are a supposed, I shouldn't say supposed, but he's supposed to be the higher level grappler.
Right.
Turns out Austin flips the script on him again, takes him down, shucks him off.
2-on-1, little Kimura grip.
Yep.
Fight in the hands, reverses position. I was like, man, when he reversed position and got his back, I was like, oh no, buddy.
Puts him down.
The end is near.
Yeah, and from there it was a lot of short elbows, a lot of punches from Hubbard, and that was really it. Ground and pound
was amazing.
Continuous. McKenzie.
Most guys do what? They just hold position.
Yeah, hold position. Maybe posture up and throw once.
Sometimes they hit to not get stood up.
Yep.
A lot of times they're just hitting just enough work so I can stay down here and keep position and look at a transition or whatever. Hubbard's just like, I got position, damage, son.
Yep.
Violence.
Landed some big time shots. You could even say this was a 10-8 round. I would argue.
Yeah.
And you could argue the first one was too with the drop. But they go to the 2 rounds, as we know in the Ultimate Fighter. 2 rounds, and you determine to see if you need a third. 2 rounds clearly won by Austin Hubbard. He wins the fight. Then
Chandler, like a baseball, like
you.
Coach said he is. Sit down, take some water. You never know. Like, he's just like, you never know. That's what he says. He's like, just in case.
Calm as hell, too.
Just in case, take a deep breath.
Yeah.
We got to get ourselves ready.
Yeah.
What we saying?
Dude, he's the best.
Meanwhile, the other side's like, that's a good try.
Probably is. Probably it, buddy. I mean, at least they're honest with him, But
yeah.
That's it. Austin Hubbard wins. Team Chandler 3-0. Is there anything you want to say for your team, man?
3-0. The old guys, I believe in you. Okay, the vets.
Listen,
vets of the game.
We might have started off a little shaky, but just like
the new guys.
But just like Conor's ankle after a kick to Dustin and it shattered, it might be a little shaky to start, but with a little help of titanium steel mindset, titanium steel mindset. And a little bit of human growth team performance, we should come back and be we should win some fights here.
You think so? So what are we saying for next week, though?
Next week is the fight that was supposed to have already happened.
That matchup for you?
They're saying Trevor Wells is nasty. He's a team Dan Henderson protege. He is,
He's trying. You're trying. Yeah.
Listen,
you're trying.
The man I picked to win the entire series is on the other side of it. What am I supposed to do?
Yeah, you said Dan Henderson protege.
That's what they said. I don't know what it means, but he's a highly touted prospect, okay? That's what they're saying. But here's the thing. Tamur, don't do that.
I love when he would slide in and throw like that leg kick, which is like he's
the shittiest leg kick, just a momentum builder. Dude,
it's like he's doing with my arm, like this is a jab, like this, and that's what he's doing with his leg. Like the way he fights, dude, is literally as if you take a drunk old man off a street and he's about to square up and he's like, all right, come on. And he throws his first kick. Like, that's what it looks like. But then Hendo just comes out with bombs in, like, Olympic level wrestling. It's
how Yoel Romero fights, bro. Like, he has 2 or 3 good ones in him, and then that's just, the rest of the fight's like whatever. But
so with that being said,
the H-bomb protege. But listen, Tamur on the other side, full on, like full Dagestani, brother.
I would have smashed.
Brother, I will smash, brother. I will smash.
That's literally what he said. Yeah. I saw it today. I said, "Oh, I can't wait."
Trevor, it is fine. I can't do it, bro, because I go Irish. Trevor, it is finally our time, mate. Trevor, finally our time, brother. I will smash. And that's how they cut the episode.
But hey, in the trailer, Trevor had some shots.
I know he was getting through, and there's a reason that Tamur is on this.
He turned Tamur
on this season again. He's a vet. He's been around in the UFC.
That's true. Those guys are hard to put away, man. Yeah. They're a vet, and they can wrestle really well.
Yeah, listen, he's a Dagestani, so I think we know what we're going to get here. But as we head out of this episode, we're not quite done, Sensei, because we just had some breaking news. I don't know if we can call this breaking news, but it is very, very interesting.
Right.
And that is a report that's come out from MMA Mania, which, let's be honest, this is a report that's based on another fighter's opinion, but this could be massive or terrible, depending on how you want to look at it. With this is the report. With tough ratings down, UFC may skip Michael Chandler to secure a Conor McGregor fight. Quote, he's not a big name. Now, this is a quote from Henry Cejudo. So let's just take everything with a grain of salt.
Triple C.
Triple C.
He's talking
a little bit. And obviously him and Conor have a little bit of back and forth where Triple C has made some videos breaking out Conor's style. Then Conor.
Triple C is trying to knock out weight and fight Conor?
Nah, I don't think that's the case. But, I mean, fuck, if the money's right, you never know. But Conor, obviously, with the don't send a check because I'm already set, yeah? As he was making fun of Henry Cejudo losing to Aljamain Sterling a couple weeks back. But
yeah,
his reasoning behind it is, quote, I could see them skipping Chandler. Former bantamweight champion Henry Cejudo told the Schmo Okay, so this was done with our boy Dave over the Schmo.
Okay, yes.
Quote, I can see Conor just saying, hey, I'm going to want this guy, end quote. Chandler's entertaining, but he's not a big name. There's no UFC belts around him. He's not a legend in the UFC. He's an entertainer of the UFC, but he hasn't gotten there yet. Now, Sensei, there isn't a fight date scheduled. And I don't know what the holdup is. Like, if Conor isn't already in the pool, that's the only holdup I can really see.
Probably what it is.
Has to be, you would think. Either that or, and let's play the speculation game, is there something to this with Henry Cejudo saying, you know what, maybe Conor is looking at these because listen, we know that Conor is a ratings guy. We know that in the pre-fight build-up to the Chad Mendes fight, he knew the dollar amount, not the, oh, Chad did 500,000 in his gate the last time he fought. He knew the number to the dollar amount that Chad did, just so he could rub it in his face. Like, that's my show money. So the guy is always watching to see where he can make the biggest fights. Now, I'm bringing this to you because what if there's some validity to this? What if Conor is not only just waiting to see how these ratings do, what if Conor McGregor's waiting to see how Nate Diaz does in a Jake Paul fight?
You think so?
Would it be crazy if Nate beat Jake to then go, let's run the trilogy because his name is massive?
The trilogy is a big one.
It's big. If he beats Jake, which I don't think he does, but if he does.
Right. If he does beat Jake. Yeah, it's a big if. There's a lot of I think Chandler I think for Conor believes in himself, so I don't think he's gonna be like, well, Chandler's not a good enough dance partner. I think Conor believes he can take it to the show regardless. You know what I'm saying?
I agree. It's not even that. It's more. Well, yeah.
Chandler will play ball, and Chandler's a good opponent for Conor. He's a guy that he'll.
I would say Nate is a better opponent for Conor.
Well, it's Nate Diaz.
I'm just saying, if you're looking at a return fight, Nate had a win, but how long ago are we talking about, brother? That first fight,
Nate's got to win. I said Nate's got to win.
Nate. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But maybe that's the game that Conor's playing. Like, yeah, I'll get in the test pool. Okay, we'll sort it. Meanwhile, he's checking. We know that the tough numbers haven't been great. Now, granted, they're behind a paywall with the ESPN Plus, but they're not pulling Conor McGregor out. Crazy wild numbers that you would think that name would pull.
Yeah, but they're not his fights.
I know that. But there's just the fact of seeing Conor on the other ones. I'm sure if we looked up the ratings for him and Uriah Faber's season, big. Now, granted, that was just off the championship against Chad. They were moving into the Jose Aldo fight, so I get it. But
right.
It's still
and where was that? Where was that being shot? Where was that being played on?
It was on FX.
Okay. I don't remember watching it. I remember seeing all the clips from it. So it's like.
So you're calling BS on this. You think it's... I agree with you if you do, bro, because this needs to be the fight.
Chandler, I think, yes, and I think it's a good fight. I think Conor sees this as a good fight for him.
He does. That's why he's entertained it. That's why he's done the Ultimate
Fighter. Because he knows
Fighter.
that Chandler... Exactly. Because he knows that, I'm going to get this guy. Because this guy's just going to walk into a firefight, just like Eddie Alvarez did, and he's going to do exactly what he did to Eddie. That's what I think. He just thinks he's like another Eddie, or like a bigger Chad.
You know what I'm saying? Did have wars with Eddie back in the day, so it's true.
You know what I mean?
I agree.
Chandler I think he thinks that Chandler will get suckered into a brawl.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And
that's
exactly what Conor wants. And Chandler has a good enough name. He's competitive enough. He's former champion. So like, you know what I'm saying? It's not like when he went and starched Cowboy Cerrone. You know?
Yeah.
This is a good fight for him. He's also not coming back and fighting Khabib right off rip.
Yeah, exactly. Now, I do wonder, again, we just go back to this. What is taking so long for them? Is it scheduling issues? Is it them trying to find a card for Conor? Because the thing that Conor is, you have to plan for obsessively because you can't put him in the wrong, like, you need to maximize him, if that makes sense. You don't have to put a big undercard, but you need to maximize the venue, the date. You try not to have any other big cards around him. You try not to have any other boxing cards around him.
USADA? Maybe they're just making sure
it may be the USADA. I mean, that's the most logical thing is to go, well, Conor's probably just not in USADA yet.
Right.
But I'm just throwing it out there that maybe it's a scheduling thing. Maybe they're not even, like Dana said, they're not even close on this thing. So
yeah, that's that is also crazy. Like not even close.
That's what's like. He has no idea. When they asked him at the last thing, he was like, "We have no idea yet." So when you start hearing stuff like that, we've heard that before with Conor, right? Where he's supposed to fight someone, to Justin Gaethje, Nate in the rematch, whatever it was, and they just go a different way. So I don't know, but I think Conor's a guy that doesn't care who it is. It would be a little disappointing if it wasn't Chandler, and if it was anybody other than Nate off a win versus Jake, in my opinion. Because I can get on board with Nate. If Nate goes in and beats Jake Paul decisively on the mic again, Conor, you was saying all this shit on the other side. He was a bitch, huge. And I'm gonna run this trilogy, motherfucker. That was a bad Nate, but you get what I'm saying.
Yeah,
I'm set. No offense to Michael Chandler, I love the guy, but
no. That
step aside.
That fight is
because we might not get it if they don't do it soon, bro.
That is true.
You know, and which one would you rather have out of the two?
Oh, Conor, Nate.
Of course,
I'd rather have that fight over a lot of fights.
So I don't know how much Henry Cejudo knows, or if he's just kind of speculating, which I think is probably what it is. But potentially big news there. Will Conor even fight Michael Chandler? Will Conor's team even get a win versus Michael Chandler? Will I get better with my accents because they're falling off like my hairline did? So I need to find out. But we don't have those answers. Episode 4 next week. Where?
I can't take no loss. I don't even know what it costs. I hit the ground, then it go off. Yeah, hit the ground, then it go off. Yeah, I can't take no loss. I don't even know what it costs. Yeah.